Hey guys, so this is my lower body mobility routine. I usually do this before my lower body exercises or sometimes I just use this as a complete workout on its own if I'm really banged up. Sometimes I'll just run through this for 10 to 15 minutes, kind of testing out my range of motion for the lifts that day. So it is a variation of a goblet squat and the world's greatest stretch. First, I think brought into the world by Mark Verstegen, who's a super smart dude. All right, so here we go. All right, so the goblet squat, okay? We're gonna start with our feet just outside of our hips, okay? And actually the first thing we're gonna do is hinge, okay? So when I hinge, my butt goes back. Okay, so like I said, this is a variation. I didn't say we were squatting yet. So I'm gonna chop my hips and push them back from the side. Okay, I'm going to chop my hips, push them back as far as I can go. That one was a little wobbly. So I'm going to push back. Okay, so I have a big stretch in my hamstrings here. Okay, I've got a small in my back, my upper back's tight. Okay, so we're just going to run through 10 of these hinging patterns. Do. Tucking that hip underneath. So 10 of the hinges. Next, we go hinge, and I'm going to reach for those toes. Okay? I'm going to then scoop my butt through, drop the butt to the ground. If you guys can notice, my chest is open. My thumbs are pointing forward. Thumbs in, bad shoulder position. Thumbs out. So I'm really going to crank and hold, and I'm going to work on pushing my chest through. Okay, now what I like to do is actually shift side to side, keeping my feet down. My arches are down, okay? I'm not forward like this. Okay, I'm down, chest up, and I'm going to shift side to side with my feet down on the ground. Next, I'm just going to hike my butt back in the air while holding onto my toes. So I'm going to hike, I'm going to put my head through. Now, I'm going to shift again. Okay, there's slight bend to my knees. You can lock them out if you want, going side to side like I'm doing. As you guys can see, I got a little boop, little joint lock. Okay, from the side, look, we're here. I'm going to shift side to side again. I'm going to swoop hips through, chest up nice and tall, okay? Pushing through that hip really, really wide. Okay, so you guys can see from the front, okay, pushing through that hip, really trying to pry open. You can also add some reaches in here if you would like. Okay, and then I'm going to go back up, shift my butt again. I'm going to poke my butt up in the air, and I'm going to shift side to side. I'm just going to put this on the clock for 2 minutes, and then I'm done. Okay, next we move into the world's greatest stretch. I think this is the best exercise for athletes. So first we have a knee pull. I'm going to lock my glute and pull my knee. Nice and tall. Most people right away, a couple things will happen. They'll do this. They'll collapse that core to pick up the foot. As an athlete, we want to have that core engaged, which means my glutes are tucked underneath. And as I lift, I want to stay tall in that movement. A lot of times I see this. As we lift the leg, this happens. The core shuts off. Okay, so it's a balancing. I want to pull that up. You can see the midline of my body here. I'm just going to pull this, not all the way to the midline, okay? Right here with my toe up. Nice and tall. Chest is tall. I didn't shrink at all. I'm nice and tall. Arch of my foot. Check out my foot. Okay, a lot of ankle stability. From here, I'm going to strike forward. Okay, and if you notice with my landing, hips are here. Okay, I didn't land here. Abs are still tight. I'm going to bring my hands down to the ground. Now this is where it gets terrible. Okay, I'm going to scrape the inside of my shin. That's my first groiner. Okay, take this hand, screw it on out. Okay, it's my first groiner. I'm going to look and I'm going to rotate. That's going to get that T-spine. I got a lot of stretching going on in this back corner of my glute, my piriformis for all you science nerds out there. And then I'm going to come back down again, okay? Next, worst part, I'm going to hike my butt up in the air, pull my toe up. Again, I'm going to hike my butt up in the air, pull my toe up. That is like a monster stretch on the hammy. So if I do this in fast time, so I'm going to pull my toe up so you guys can see this. I'm not going to lose an inch of my head or my core. I'm going to come up. I'm going to balance. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, pushing through that chest. 3 Mississippi, I'm going to strike. I want you guys to be able to see this. As I go down, Okay, I'm gonna rotate, open that hand, rotate. Okay, look, I'm gonna hike my hips up higher than my shoulders. Woo! Lift that front toe up. Oh my gosh. Okay, big hamstring stretch here. Okay, but that's getting through the entire range of motion. That hammy, you can drop it down if you want. 1, pop, 2, pop, 3. From this position, you can just put this foot back, walk the hands through. Okay? So it's the world greatest stretch, and I gave you guys lots of variations to work what sort. Again, one more time. So we pull up. 1, 2, 3. Stabilize that glute. Make sure you have a straight line. Coaches, make sure they're not collapsing their arches. Tight core. We're going to step forward. First thing we're going to hit is that groiner. Okay, my hand's facing this way. I'm going to come up. Boom. Okay, hit that groiner. Push that knee out. Next, I'm going to my hip hike. Pop that hip. Up, 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 up. If you can get to this position, lift that front toe up. Okay? So we're going to sink down. I get my hip flexor. My chest is an awesome, awesome stretch. I'm going to bring the hip up, lift that front toe. Again, so coaches, we're looking for all these things. Open shoulders, open chest. Okay, and I'm just highly flexible so I can get in and out of these positions because I've been doing this for 12 years. But your clients are not going to be here right away. Okay, so for you guys, you might have to modify this. Okay, for your clients, you might have to start here. Bring that foot up. That might be a challenge. Okay, if they can't, hold on to something. Okay, work on just getting that hip around. Okay, this might be today, guys. This might be it. Dropping this, ouch. I see a lot of clients, that's where they're at. From the side, look how much I don't have range here. Just, ouch. Okay, we're not slunched over like this. Do it, my chest is up, grinding that shin. Okay, that might be where your clients are at. If you want to do that whole thing, look, you can just practice on pulling the spine up. Okay, sucking that belly button up towards the air, towards the ceiling, my bad. Sucking your belly button up to the ceiling, and then back down again. Okay, working on those rotations just in a smaller position. All right, so that was a big, aggressive stretch that has a lot of demands on it. Okay, the world's greatest stretch is the world's greatest stretch because it deals with core stability, flexibility, single leg stability. We even go into a little force reduction when I go into that big lunge, okay, especially when I go from here. Okay, this goes into a lot of decelerative patterns. Okay, I see a lot of people will step and that ankle might go over the knee. So it's cueing all these things as we go through it. It can get very fluid and go from here to here, drop down, look up, touch the hands, hike the hips and toes. Hike the hips and toes. Okay, so we can just keep running through that for as long as you want. I don't like to do anything more than 5 minutes. I think that's enough. So for the goblets that we worked in the beginning, put 2 minutes on the clock. Okay, and then spend, or I would actually do that for 1 minute, maybe 2, and then I'd spend 1.5 minutes on one side, 1.5 minutes on the other side. I'm not a big fan of going back and forth, like doing this to the other side. Just pattern out one side. Just pattern out this thing, get this cruising, okay? You can walk that back, do it again, cue the glute, lift, tall, strike, down, up, okay? We might have to do a couple of these to really grease that groove. All right, same thing from the side so you guys can see it. Trying to get the whole thing in here. Okay, so I'm up, boo. I'm gonna strike, see if I can stay in here as I come down. Okay, I just want you guys to be able to see it. Up, okay? Hip hike, all the way up. Man, that's an angle. We're gonna do that again, all the way up. Bring it back. Do that old school little toe walk. I'll try to come up here for you guys. Okay? You can even look. Woo! Oh man, look at that. I just blended them together. Okay? Up. Here. Here. Okay? So you guys can get very creative with this. Use it as a flow. 5 minutes. Okay? Have fun with that.